podcasters, did you know you could have your content taken down for violating copyright with music? Let's fix it.
Playing the Misfit Heroes podcast.
What up, Misfits? Welcome to the Misfit Heroes podcast. My name is Chris, and together we are going on a journey. Okay, if you're a podcaster and you're looking to increase the quality of your podcast, a good place to start can be background music or intro music. It can bring an added layer of personal touch to your podcast content, and it can set the tone for the type of audio that you're producing, while also piquing your listeners' interest and keeping them vested in your content. But did you know that using someone else's music in your podcast can get the entire podcast removed and possibly banned from posting in the future? It seems counterintuitive, especially when podcast platforms like Spotify actually advertise that you can use their music library right there through their app. But one problem you will quickly run into is while one app can automatically approve your podcast at different platforms, your content may be approved on one platform and then get flagged on other platforms. Now, to remedy this issue, you can find copyright and royalty-free music from various sites around the web. If you post to YouTube, they actually offer a YouTube audio library that has been pre-cleared through YouTube. To access it, you just go into YouTube Studio and select the Audio Library tab. From here, you can filter by select songs, artists, and sounds that have been issued directly from YouTube. But let's say you want something special that no one else has or knows about. In this situation, I'd recommend creating your own music. Now, I can see it already, you're skeptical. You think you've got no musical ability whatsoever, and you're worried that it's going to sound like hot garbage. Well, maybe. But let me propose an alternative. More than a few people have commented about how they like my intro music, and they want to know where I bought it from. Well, let me drop this bomb of truthiness on. I did not buy it. I made it. And here's how I did it using the free app called BandLab. BandLab is a free app for various platforms that allows you to gamify musical creation and turn creating music into a kind of video game feel. It's actually a lot of fun. Right out of the gate, the app allows you to choose from different sound presets, instruments, and templates from some of your favorite artists and genres of music. Even if you think you have zero musical talent, there's a feature that allows you to sing or hum a melody directly into your phone, and then the notes will automatically populate and recreate the melody inside of the app. You can then create drum or percussion beats, bass lines, synths, all types of layers to make your music stand out. You can even quantize your drum track so that timing is perfectly set and the app will actually keep the beat for you. It works really well. One of my favorite parts about BandLab is that changes are saved and tracked and then uploaded to the cloud so that you can work on them remotely wherever you want, whenever you want. And if you make an error, you can go back to previous edits prior to saving those changes. Just for giggles,
we are wet and ready, Big Giggles.
Here's the intro music I created entirely using the app. There was no external creation whatsoever. It was strictly created using my iPhone inside of BandLab. Once I figured out the structure of the beats and the chord progressions, it became like a video game, and it was honestly kind of fun to just create new sounds and then add them in. Hence where my opener for the podcast is Alexa saying,
Playing the Misfit Heroes podcast.
Now, I do have a musical background, but as you can see, this gamification makes it easy for someone with no musical talent to take your ideas to reality. While we're on the subject, I want to talk about the idea of gamification. Because believe it or not, it's an idea that can help you a ton when you're creating something. And yes, gamification is a real word. I didn't just make that up. The idea was started by a game developer in 2002, Nick Pelling. When he was developing video games, he faced these really big tasks centered around creating games, like coding and graphics development, and really just creating a digital product out of thin air. And then he had an idea. What if we could turn these big, almost Herculean tasks down into smaller pieces? It would almost be like a level of one of your video games. And every time you learned a new skill or you completed a task, it was like you were leveling up your character. Nowadays, this mentality is transferred to the business world. Education, medicine, all different types of spaces use it, and it really works. So much so that big tech companies like Google rely on it heavily for team-based projects. There are features in many tech softwares that are designed to give your daily activities a competition feel to them. Rather than making sales calls, for example, you can be working on a high score against one of your teammates working with you. The idea can unlock a tremendous amount of potential that you may not have been using yet.
Tremendous potential, tremendous spirit and love.
Back to creating with BandLab. The app is very user-friendly, especially for those who aren't very tech-friendly. There are literally thousands of presets and instrument packs from other artists to create your signature sound, and you can even record your own right inside of the app. For a free app, it's about as customizable as you could wish for. While we're at it, here's how I created the theme music for my podcast. First, download the BandLab app. The icon looks like this. Sign in or create your account and hit the plus button down at the bottom, and then click the studio button. From here, you can add various tracks and start your music creation journey with whatever option you'd like to start with. If you've got a melody stuck in your head, hit the record button and hum or sing it, and the BandLab AI can transcribe it and get started creating it based off of your recording. You can then add drum layers, bass layers, synths, whatever you would like to mesh with your melody that you've created. BandLab also has a nifty AI feature called Songstarter that can get you inspired and headed in the right direction based on various styles and genres of music. Another amazing feature of BandLab is that you can import music directly into the app, and using their splitter function, you can create high-quality stems of tracks and adjust their pitch, tempo, and even loop the tracks. So you like that new Kanye song, but you don't want the lyrics? Take them out. Remove the drum tracks, bass lines, literally any piece that you don't want individually. Another fun part of BandLab is directly below those functions in studio mode, called BandLab Beats, where you can download artist packs and get the signature sound of specific artists and pivot off of their ideas and methods. The app is a lot of fun to mess around with, and it has a very minimal learning curve, especially with all these AI tools that they offer. Now, I love music and I can appreciate any level of artistry, so if you try BandLab, let me know what you come up with. Feel free to share your links to your creations down in the comments below. Heck, you'll get at least one listener. There's a link down below to check it out. So, what do you think about BandLab? Do you have another solution that you've found success with? Share that knowledge with me and let me know if you have any questions about this method whatsoever. And remember, don't copy other people's stuff. Be a visionary. Stand out. You can do it. I believe in you. That's all the time I have this week, Misfits. If this video helped you at all, do me a favor and passionately imbue that like and subscribe button with your hands presence. Please leave me a rating or review of the show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And as always, if you do nothing else in this big, beautiful world today, do this. Be kind, love one another, and be a hero.